Good evening. We are back. It is Boomer Rex tonight. I once again have Mr. Boomer Rex.
Who are we? What is our motivation?
And Asshole.
No.
And I am RisenLadyHeathen.
You're not asshole anymore?
Oh, I'm just contrarian.
Also known as
Still
Risen.
an
Contrarian has too many syllables.
Yeah, I'm
in
not
it.
advocating a name change.
Can we just call you wrong way?
I was perfectly fine with asshole.
Okay.
Start being a problem.
So
quickly down
asshole
that
you
path.
are.
And then they stole my opening. So we have an exciting show once again. We've got some news and politics to catch y'all up on for the day. And I have the next installment of our Killer Legends.
Right. We wouldn't steal her opening, would we?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Is it bolted down?
Did we carry it off?
I
Where
got
did
a
it go?
Fair.
Don't have a guy at the end. I mean, like,
It's in the
don't
parking
do crimes.
lot.
It's in the park.
And if you don't think that looks like a parking lot, you've just never seen a parking lot.
That's fair.
Anyway.
All right, so we wanted to start off here with the Pakistan victory and people being shitty about it.
Oh, yeah. So here we are. So Pakistan stomps India in a sports contest, a serious one, 2020 World Cup. And the Indians are threatening to charge those who celebrate Pakistan's victory with sedition.
India, our good friend and ally. Largest democracy on the planet.
What was it Trump called those countries? Oh, shithole countries.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's bad enough. You sit there and look at that and go, this is completely ridiculous, right? World's largest democracy. Oh, geez. Anyway, the sport. Now, here's the funny part. Guess the sport.
World Cup soccer.
Yeah, no, I'm with him. Soccer.
Cricket.
What?
Okay,
People
here's the
still
thing.
play
So
that?
they're playing the imperialists' game.
No, fuck all that noise.
What?
Because Australia and India, it's adorable. Because the British play cricket because they lived in the world where Alice in Wonderland was filmed.
Yeah.
The Indians play cricket as a death sport in 100 and whatever. No.
Well, okay.
So, I mean, A, get them with your cricket bats, and it sounds a little bit like maybe it's time for India to have a regime change over cricket.
Yeah.
We'll lie and make something else up.
And they couldn't beat Pakistan. You got to be embarrassed if you can't beat Pakistan at cricket.
Yeah.
I want to know how they know.
I want to play
Could
cricket.
you ever watch a cricket game?
Yeah.
How the hell would you know who won? I guess
don't
they
even-
tell you at the end.
Is there like what
One
are the
side cheers.
rules for cricket? Does anybody even know how to play cricket? I
No,
think
I
I
don't
played
know
it
how-
for 5
I
minutes
don't know
in,
how
like,
to
elementary
watch
school.
cricket.
My brain literally just
Or
handed
middle
me
school
the
or something.
instructions on croquet.
I did watch 2
Oh,
hours
okay.
of cricket once,
Yeah.
trying to figure out
No.
what was going on. Yeah, no, not happening.
But again, I'm sure it's better than baseball.
Hey,
Rugby's better than football.
Don't get
Inarguably.
Oh.
That everyone who wants to point it out gets a dunk on
Soccer's
NFL
better
football.
than football. Well, let's go.
All right. So are we, now that we've said some terrible things about some of the best American national sports, the only one I
Special
care about.
Olympics.
The best thing about baseball is when you can sit in the top of the viewing area,
That's my
right? Up
favorite.
way up
Yeah,
in the
in the
cheap
balcony,
seats.
yep.
Yeah. Drink beer, and nobody cares if you have a cigarette.
I can understand that.
And nobody cares who wins the game.
That is exactly my feeling about movie theaters. Is all the monkeys sitting down quiet time for story time?
Yep.
None of them doing anything that out them as the monkeys that I just want to headbutt a little. Just one time, like I could walk and stumble and it would look like an accident. It'd be fine.
Okay, so we were supposed to be moving on. You wanted to talk about Brian Karim? Karim? Karim?
I assume Karim,
Hey, we're getting your name wrong.
who's saying,
Fight
we
about it on
have
Twitter.
a major national security problem. It is, I've got to quote it. The United States is a nation of militantly ignorant people, arrogant in their beliefs and unable to change their minds and unwilling to try. We lack education.
He
And if
said
you
that?
think, yeah, that's a quote.
Ooh, I think you've got some
It's
fighting
also
words
That
there.
should be on the
Deadly
$1 bill.
accurate.
That's
I know.
That is the cornerstone of what America was founded on.
Yeah. Anyway, if you look around at what our current problems are, the backstards, the so on, that's the problem, is they don't have enough
That has
education
been the problem.
to recognize a correct
Oh, yeah.
argument.
Well, and let's be honest. I know a lot of people are, people who are anti-vaxxers for the COVID thing. They have a lot of misinformation that's being thrown in their face, and they're confused and they're scared, just like
And
everybody
because
else.
they have no education,
Yeah, and it's
they
not
can't
really
look
their
at it
fault,
and go, "It's
though.
being thrown at me as
Yeah.
bullshit."
They
No,
lack life
I
experience.
totally agree.
They were exactly what the American system of education wanted. They were perfect little drones.
Right.
Yep.
And then turns out say crazy shit.
No, and
cause a
again,
problem.
don't
And
talk
they
to
don't
me.
notice it's crazy.
Right, and don't talk to me about bodily
working full
autonomy
jobs.
when
No,
you're taking
that's
away
my
my
point.
right to do what I want with my body, including my uterus. Like,
Is
here's
you
the
can-
finger.
You can tell there's an evil intellect on the far side of this because that thought of the body autonomy argument and the rest,
Yeah.
how quickly they downshift into a competent, coherent argument that ill-informed, ill-experienced people could not have structured.
Can I
Right.
just say, when a corpse has more bodily autonomy than I do as a female, that is disturbing
Yeah.
and
Yep.
not okay.
No, it's not okay.
Also, you can get abortion chemicals on the internet and you can get instructions
Right,
from
like,
the
I'm
WHO.
not concerned about myself because I know how to do the thing if I
Uh-huh.
need to in an emergency
Yeah.
or whatever. I'm worried about the many people out there who don't have the means or knowledge that I have access to.
That's
and
what I
that
wanted to say.
I've been appropriately raised by my parents to know these things.
Yeah, I just want to take a second to a thing that's going to be on the internet. If I have a moment with the microphone, the WHO will tell you the chemicals, and you can order them off the internet.
Yeah, so look it up, people.
I am
If you're in this
absolutely
situation, there is help out there.
Ridiculously pro-choice. Partly because the thing shifted on the late-term abortion, but that's a different argument for a different night.
Yes.
See, I didn't meander.
Look, we could have ended abortion.
Kaite monkey. No, we're doing it another night.
All right.
We're moving on.
We're moving
so
on.
now we are moving on.
We were doing someone's name, and I didn't. Oh, that's right.
We were talking about Brian Kareem or
Yeah.
Karem or
Yeah.
I don't know where he's
And
from.
the
I can't-
failures of education that make people vulnerable to the nonsense
Yeah.
that they're being fed.
Yeah,
We are
which
having
is
more
so
remedial college
disappointing.
classes than we have ever run annually because the pipeline to college is collapsed.
Yeah, we screwed it all
And
up.
I am not. No, not every kid's a college track kid. College is great. Everyone who wants to should go. It's the best time you're ever going to have. You're going to meet more people or join the military. But
Well, you've got a lot of people to say, well, we don't really need high school. You know, we could do a trade school, right? And then people would be prepared to work in the. The point is, if you get a decent education, what you're learning to do is think.
yes,
Right.
And that's going to be valuable to you
No matter what you do.
in the trades.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
going to be valuable to you in science. It's going to be valuable to you in engineering. It will be
Now-
valuable to you as a homemaker,
hmm
right?
And colleges should be doing way more of stuff when useful, right? I think you can be plumbing a house or whatever while discussing the science that makes it run, or something. Because right now, no, there's not a lot. There's a lot of
Well,
easy
there's
ways
a
to
place
beat up on
community
college.
colleges could have a lot of fun, right?
Mhm.
Because you could structure a literature course
Yes.
that people would tell each other about and come
If you're telling me a
to,
college
and-
can't start stamping out housing, right? What the hell is this college teaching?
I saw a really interesting thing the other day that was supposedly posted by a professor or a teacher. I would love to double check this, and I should have, but the story she tells is that she had a group of students that got together one of those Google docs, like a Google document. So they
Okay.
were all taking notes together in this Google document. And if
Okay.
somebody was confused about something, they would make a side note about
Okay.
questions
They
and
wrote
stuff
an
that they have.
intelligence notebook
And
about
other
their class.
and other people would respond and say, "Oh, this is the thing." So by the time they got to the finals, they had this huge document that had all the information that they
Yeah.
needed. And as like I was like, "Damn, that is brilliant. That is amazing. That is
Yeah.
that is just phenomenal." But holy shit, I've watched Star Trek, and that is a hive mind if I've ever seen one.
Cool.
That could go both ways,
Yes.
right? That could be useful, and that could be terrifying
Well,
all at the
and-
same time.
There's a thing. These kids are having genuinely different experiences that makes it hard for them to talk to. Don't. that right, they're having whole entire parts of their lives on computer games that then shut down. And they have friendships they will never see again. They have people who they left behind, or right, that they were just displaced now. And maybe they meet up if you talked enough and knew an email or something. I've bumped into people from old games because I tend to use similar names.
Yeah.
So
No,
Anyway.
I would cross-platform.
the thing I don't
people.
often hear when we laugh at how much they're on their screens, except that's giving them some actual stuff, and there are some good sides to it. It's
Yeah.
not all Instagram and Facebook
Nope.
suicide pacts.
Well, you just raised an issue we should probably investigate.
Like
Because what you're talking about is a tiny closed community, right, where you have close friends.
Yeah.
Um,
and they're distant enough you tell them all your secrets, so they're really close friends.
yeah,
We tell strangers more secrets than we tell.
When
or your buddies in the foxhole.
Mm-hmm.
No,
late at
I'll
night.
agree, because when I was a teenager and the internet was first starting to become a thing, right? So chat rooms and that sort of stuff were invented, and you'd go in and you'd meet people and whatever. I met people across the country this way, okay? And I felt more comfortable telling them, what was really going on in my head than I did some of my really close friends, because who are they going to fucking tell?
Mhm.
I don't care
Yeah.
who they tell,
Could be.
right? Like they
Right,
can
that's
tell,
certainly the factor.
they're people, and that's fine. And it kind of gives you almost a sense of comfort in the separation.
No, that's literally what it is.
And
We've done the science.
one of these people I'm still friends with to this day. He and I are still very close friends. We talk regularly. I've since met him several times, and we're just wonderfully close friends. And he's an amazing person. And the internet can bring people together from completely different
Yeah.
sides
It's
of
not all just dick pics.
America. Yeah.
And it's
No.
a sea of dick pics.
It
because
is a
good
sea
things
of dick-
happen sometimes.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Don't do online
like Sea of
dating,
Thieves.
girls. Don't do it. You get all the dick pics. It's terrible.
Oh.
I regret it.
I do like the idea of getting
But you
a
don't
group
want
of
dick
people
pics?
laughing and using that as
I'd
your
be at
default
work
response.
texting whoever I'd met on whatever OkCupid or whatever
And it says
dating
ding,
network.
and you've got
And I'm like,
Penis.
so and so, because we were just chatting about
Yeah.
something, and all of a sudden there's a dick, like a huge dick, just boom, right on my screen.
well,
and
you'd
I'm like,
understand why you'd
we're
want to
never
take a
talking
picture.
again. Delete. Like,
Oh no, but I think that relationship is similar to what you get in deployed units in the Army,
Yeah.
right? Because these are not people that you,
would normally interact with.
yeah, and they're not going home to City Street with you, right, or whatever. And I think there's a closeness that
Yeah, they meet
you don't get in
They meet
day
the
to
you,
day.
you when you're you and you're hungry and you're cold and,
And
it's
scared.
shitty. And yeah,
Yep.
and there's the dumb stuff that you don't know about, but you're afraid to fucking ask, and so you got to be like, "Hey, thing."
Yeah.
So again, I have watched barracks full of troops argue whether or not Catholics are Christians, and like, oh.
Yeah.
So no,
Listen, C:// duh.
Yeah.
Right.
back to the failed education bit.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, and this is definitely a discussion we can have more of. Please comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you think. What do you want to hear more about when it comes to what we were just discussing? But let's move on for the moment to Sheriff Christopher
Oh, God.
Schmalling. Why do you give me these weird fucking names, man?
That's
I
what you
didn't.
Schmalling?
His mommy and daddy did that to him.
God, fuck these people. I mean, just don't have weird last names.
Yeah, he had a kind of
Oh, Sheriff,
Linwood's
what's his first
moment
name?
when he was gonna.
Christopher. We have a Christopher here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He
it's
had-
funny because we are going to be talking about a Christopher again in a minute. So let's get on with Sheriff Christopher.
Okay, so he had his Linwood moment that he was going to show everybody how the election was totally fraud soaked, and go read. It's hilarious. Go find it and read about it. But you're not going to see it on the front page of the New York Times tomorrow.
Nope. And I'm just glad it went that way. But again, it's about the drum beat and it's about pre-justification. This is what it looks like. You know when you're talking yourself into doing something dumb?
Yep.
Right? That thing that's really like saying the thing that's going to cause the fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
This is
the
it.
feeling.
yeah.
And that's what this is supposed to engender and does. And people believe the election was stolen. Genuinely, and I feel for them.
Yeah, no, and it's terrible because again, they've got so much.
There is $1 billion industry lying to them.
We can't, you know, it's impossible to talk to these people, and I hate it. Like it really is upsetting because I have facts, right? And I can show you these facts, but you're gonna say, no, that's fake news. Well,
Yeah,
but
if
I found it at 5 different reliable sources who are known for being good at looking up these things, and nope, not
Well,
good enough
and
because it's not my network, right? My network's not
It's
reporting
because
it.
they're not educated enough to tell.
Right,
Well-
well, and some of it is they're educated, but they're almost like overeducated in an extent of this particular thing, right? So whatever this is has been pushed on them so much that they know a lot about it, but
It has
it's
spent a
not
great
right.
deal of time in their head real estate.
Yes,
No, I
like overthinking it. Does that make sense? So they're doing their own research, but because of the sources that they're using, it's refeeding them the same information
Yeah.
instead of new
they
information.
were not
They're
trained
getting
to properly do
information.
research.
That any person with a decent high school education should be able to look at and say
So-
this is false.
You're
I
talking
don't
about
think
the
that's
French.
true at all.
Or
Give me an
the
example.
British. You're not talking about Americans because you said a phrase in there that
I said a
even-
decent high school
bingo.
education.
Hold up. Pause.
Okay.
When do we think that was ever provided in the United States?
I got a decent high school education.
I absolutely, but it
Fine.
wasn't on accident.
What?
It wasn't on accident. Your people spent active time making sure you were bright and engaged and thinking the right things, and you were around because they were around and jobs, and they weren't. No,
No, what
Well-
people are stumbling across today
these
is
are the children of the ultra.
yeah, the young people.
This is multi-generational poverty in like
Peace, multi-generation intellectual poverty. But the
one causes the other.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So
on
again,
purpose.
my
No,
point is
but I'm saying the
that,
problem is their education.
Yes.
That a reasonable education would have taught them to look at what they're being told and recognize that it's false on its face.
Yes.
You don't need further research for most of it.
Yeah.
It's false on its face by
we're-
inspection.
But that requires them having been taught how to use
yes,
numbers.
and logic.
Yes.
Well-
Which we actively don't teach kids.
No, and again, I have a different opinion on this because I've seen people go the wrong way,
Yeah.
and I've seen that
I can make a human
they're-
being believe whatever you
Yeah,
want.
exactly, and it doesn't matter how smart they are. They could have gone to college, they could have gone to the military, they could know the thing.
Some smart people join cults at a higher rate.
Exactly.
I can believe
so,
that.
Yes.
So the point is that they are so smart that they think that that this information that this trusted source is giving them and has convinced them is correct, right? Whatever this trusted source is, it's definitely
the
correct.
misattributing trusted source. but-
Exactly.
No shit.
Yes.
Do you understand that when somebody,
No,
when
they
you
don't.
have a
America
secret
wanted to
source,
make sure they didn't.
right? You don't have to look to know the information is false.
Said the Pentagon Papers were right, and for how long were they that?
No, but
The
I've
Pentagon Papers
experienced
weren't a secret source
I've
in any way. They were
experienced
made public.
people.
Except no one knew the fuck. Oh wait, I'm fucking up Deep Throat and the other thing. Right.
I've had friends, okay, who were raised the same way I was, same education, same types of family, same whatever,
Yep.
okay, and they came out the other end, believing things that were just on their face false. But they would read the same documents I would, right? Like we could sit next to each other, read the exact same paperwork, and he or she would come to a completely separate conclusion than I would. Right? And that's not that they're not intelligent. It's not that they don't whatever. It's that they were told that this information means something different by whatever trusted sources they believe. Does
I know
that
the mob always?
right?
Après-moi le déluge.
Well,
But
they
then we
sit in-
already
they
knew
sit in
that.
these echo chambers, right?
It's
That
happening now,
that people are
so
just
unless you're
feeding
gonna
them.
leave-
Just welcome to the
Soon?
deluge.
Yeah, you would like to start swimming soon.
Yeah.
No, these are human beings functioning exactly as the package says.
Exactly.
These are pattern recognizing human beings living in a place where, yes, there are conspiracies designed to fuck their world up.
Yep.
Right? We let opioids destroy whole towns.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
And better than that.
For profit.
Oh, and it's dumber than that.
And then we didn't jail the people who did it.
No.
And it gives cartels an introduction to people in the suburbs, which you were going to regret because that's the kind of organized crime you will never, ever. Because it doesn't hide behind an LLC.
So lots of stuff wrong. Have to pick a corner and start fixing.
Yeah, any corner.
Jump in the middle, kick
Not
sideways.
Milk toast fixing.
So that was exciting and very energetic.
Yes.
Let's talk about Christopher Cantwell and Charlottesville and
So
the white
he's-
supremacists.
He's one of the MAGA rioters.
Is that the crying Nazi?
That's who it is.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyway, and I said MAGA rioter, but of course that was Charlottesville.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is the defense they're working on, is that Cantwell felt emboldened by the TV hosts' diatribes, and he thought they echoed those he promoted and that helped fuel the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. Those messages included ones about the Great Replacement theory, a white supremacist delusion based on the bogus assumption that Democrats and liberal progressives are working to replace white people of European descent with non-European immigrants. So, there's his basic defense, is Tucker Carlson made me do it. And
that was for the Charlottesville riot. Was he the one that ran over people?
No, that
No.
was Daniel Fields.
Oh, okay.
No, this was one of the idiots around it. He's involved in some conversations where they're laughing about running people over because this is sort of the beginning of that. I think the Canadian attack had happened not long before that. But several places already passed the laws saying if they block the streets, hit them. And, like, that's such a dumb idea. But also don't block the streets. Inconveniencing your fellow Americans is not the answer. Inconvenience your government. Ask them for hunting licenses. You and all 1,200 of your friends.
Oh,
just
fuck
line up at City Hall.
Yep, take the papers. Do not throw them away where they can find them and recoup them because they're not dumb. They will. I would.
But I just found it, amusing,
Mhm.
right? The whole, Tucker Carlson made me do it.
For me,
Right.
this is the final step in a long-running move we've had for making rage into entertainment.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Right, because any strong emotion, but some of those are like making you feel loved and appreciated and like cherished.
Well, and it
That's
sells
hard.
the products you see.
Yeah,
Advertised
it lights
on
up more
Fox
the human
News.
brain than sex.
On the other hand, I thought Jodie Foster made me do it was a better defense than Tucker Carlson made me
Oh,
do
for
it.
sure.
Don't listen to Tucker Carlson.
Oh my God.
I mean, listen
If
to him.
Jodie
but-
Foster's
but
talking to you, don't listen to her.
Listen to him point and laugh.
with a lot of concern that he is going to be feeding you something that's it's gonna sound good, right? It's gonna sound like perfect, like exactly what you want, and that's what you wanted to hear, and that's what he's telling you. It doesn't make it true.
Right.
So just keep that in mind. Do your own research. Like just what we want people to do is just understand that you can't just trust one source. I don't trust.
No, you're
one
right to
source.
be distrustful. Be extra distrustful of things that agree with your previously held
Oh,
beliefs.
especially if I'm
And-
Googling something and it says, whatever. I'm sorry, I just read.
And you already know when you're dealing with people, the truth is going to lie somewhere in the average of the stories. So you're going to have to read a lot of stories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you really want to tell me you've done your research, I need to know in my heart of hearts that when you talk about it, you've done like me and read everything on Google News. All of it. Right? Whatever the top headline, you've read all of them. You're bored now. You're looking for new news because you've eaten all the earlier news.
Well, and if you do that enough, you get to the point where you see a headline
It becomes Days of Our Lives.
and you go,
Clickbait.
bullshit.
Yeah, clickbait.
There's no
and then
way
you
Johnny
click
has
it.
another twin.
And no, I'm talking about for serious news.
And I'm saying I
Right.
absolutely see it the same way as the people who are serious about Days of Our Lives or whatever, right? Soap
Right.
operas.
Yeah.
That you can just look and know. Right? That you can see the twists coming. You can, right?
Yeah.
That we were deploying 254 surface vessels to cover Obama's whatever and
Yeah.
wherever. We are not moving 10% of our naval strike power
Right.
anywhere unless somebody's going to get fucked up.
Well, that trip cost $20 billion. You can look at the number and know that it's false.
Look at what else costs. Afghanistan costs $2 billion a day. There's no way we're doing 10 times the business
Yeah.
where the president goes as we are where we're actively bombing and sending dudes out to
Yeah.
poke around and see if you can start a fight.
Again, look at lots of sources, and sooner or later you'll find yourself being able to judge what you're going to get before you go there. Now, you should go there, right, and see, because sometimes you're wrong.
Oh,
Right.
and another thing that people need to watch out for is learning, and this was hard for me at first, learning the difference between an opinion piece and a factual piece. And
We made that
initially,
hard.
right, because I had certain sources that I trusted and I would just believe them on their face. And then I realized as I started getting deeper and deeper into daily news, daily politics, it is very difficult if you're not paying attention, right, to tell the difference between your favorite news person doing an opinion piece and giving you actual facts, okay? Because those are two separate things, and most likely your favorite news source isn't doing the news. They're doing an opinion piece, especially these shows like Tucker Carlson. That's an opinion piece. Rachel Maddow, that's an opinion piece.
Yeah.
Know the difference before you believe everything that is stated.
Yeah. No, and I'll give you the perfect example from the COVID-19. If you didn't find yourself reasonably frequently on university or professional association sites reading papers that had just been published, then you weren't getting anything that looked like data. All you were getting was opinion.
Yeah.
And a big problem early on with COVID was that you can read the research and understand the research, and then you go back and look at what people are saying about it and realize they couldn't read the research.
Two different things, yeah.
Yeah.
Two different things.
And on top of that, you have genuine needs to make things true, right? The one thing Fauci gets slapped for all the time is I remember when he was telling us not to mask. Yeah, because if we cause a run on masks, which we did,
Yes.
we caused a run on toilet paper and gasoline. That's what we do. People are dumb and animals. A person can be smart.
They said that because at that time, the average American did not need to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And they needed them in the hospitals.
Yep.
And we wound up desperately short in the hospitals because people went out and bought all the good masks.
No, and I love that Men in Black scene where he says, people.
That was it.
People are, a person can be smart, but people are dumb, stupid, panicky animals. And that is aggressively true, right?
Yep.
As a person, you need to separate yourself from the people who agree with you and from the people who are against you and whatever, and just clear your head and do the research.
No, I remember I was traveling through Tucson and they had a gas line burst. And it was great because over the course of, like my layover, you could watch this discussion that led to everyone went on Tuesday to buy gas.
Because they were afraid there was going to be a shortage?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Someone discussed the possibility and asked somebody smart. And
Well, that was something we were worried about when I was on my way here.
yeah.
Now, we were good about the masks
Oh, yeah.
because we went and found a couple of old N95s we had from painting and so forth. And oh
Nice.
God, were they nasty, but we wore them.
Yeah.
So,
You gotta do what you do. All right, so let's move on to Senator Richard Burr, who decided it would be a
What's he done?
brilliant idea to dump $1.6 million in stocks before COVID.
Oh, I saw
right?
this headline.
yeah. So, I believe they decided not to prosecute him, although I'm not sure why.
And the odds makers take a beating.
Yeah,
But
no.
he's a boss. And
Right.
Fuck the bosses.
So he had material that was, non-public information. Okay, great. So what did he do? He called his brother. They talked for 50 seconds. And in the next minute, literally, his brother called his broker and dumped his stocks. So, sorry about that. If you've got somebody on the Senate Intelligence Committee or whatever,
That'd
maybe
help
you
one,
got
isn't
some
it?
early information. Yeah.
Light him up.
Yeah.
And his brother. I will also say we all should hang our head in shame for a little bit. We didn't outlaw Congress insider trading until 2012.
So, anyway. It's the standard thing, right? Laws are for little people.
Yeah.
All right.
No, and I
want to go back to dick pics. Well, I don't want to go back to dick pics.
I don't
but-
want to. I don't even want to talk about
and
dick
suddenly
pics.
our podcast took a turn.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay,
Ladies,
so hold
if
on.
a,
I want to see where this goes.
oh,
You said it's not for kids, right?
no.
So they tried to talk me out of it, but we had just gone back to dick pics.
Yeah.
So I have this.
Oh no.
No, I'm sorry.
No, fuck it, I'm curious.
No, just do
Okay.
it. Just do it.
So I've never gotten one. I don't want one. But more
He wants
importantly,
them, the internet.
Don't send us
Get
dick
banned
pics
on
to the
YouTube.
internet.
Make
I
weird
will
comments.
ban the
Oh.
fuck out of all of you.
Don't get me in trouble, the internet.
I don't do dick pics.
Do whatever you
well, but I've also never sent one, and I'm not sure why anybody would, right? I mean,
That's the world's dumbest way of fishing for tit pics.
yeah, or
You show them your worm, and then I don't, like...
it's ridiculous.
Anyway.
If I wanted to gin up a more intimate conversation with a young woman, I think I would send her a picture of something like braised scallops and a glass of wine.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's classy.
Uh-huh.
You would have had me, honey. That would have been all about
See,
that.
there we go.
I don't
You
even
think I
like
don't like-
scallops, but at least you're being high class and adorable.
If you don't like scallops, you've never had them done right.
I've had scallops. I just don't.
Oh,
I
well.
just can't.
Yeah,
do
you're not
fish.
big on seafood.
I can do raw fish, cooked fish. I can't. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
weird thing. I
Yeah.
love sushi. I love sashimi.
Okay.
But for some reason, I
Oh.
cooked strange.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a texture thing.
Yeah. No, I just never understood the whole thing about sending somebody a dick pic. It
Yeah,
didn't
no
make
one
I
wants
grew
to
up in the
see your
time
naked
of it,
worm.
and I don't remember sending any unsolicited dick pics. I just... Because it's always much easier for me to just go, hey, how's it going? What are you wearing? Just like, again, I don't know when I'm flirting or not, apparently.
Yeah.
And so I just say inappropriate things, and the people I'm not supposed to be flirting with or don't want to be flirted with tell me no.
Okay.
But again, this is part of my problem, as
Oh.
I only care about the people who want to have sex with me.
Yeah.
And what their sexual
An
interests are.
actual person.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I mean, all of them everywhere I'd like to know about, but
Yeah.
All right, so we're making an interesting transition here from dick pics
yeah,
to
BoomerRex wants your dick pics. Send me the NSA.
don't listen to asshole. He's an
I'm
asshole.
gonna make him
We
an
call
email
him
account
asshole
for
for
it.
a reason, folks. Anyway, moving forward.
Special dick pic.
We
man.
are
like some Pee-wee's Playhouse.
we are once again talking about Killer Legends by Joshua Zeman and Rachel Mills. It is an amazing movie. It's free on YouTube. Just Google
How
Killer
the hell do you
Legends.
go from dick pics to killer legends? Well, you said it was an awkward
the inverse
transition.
of-
Go
I
ahead.
did.
And an urban
I,
legend.
I admitted
About
it
dick
was.
pics?
Oh, okay. So anyway, so tonight we are moving on to our third major dude that they discuss in this, and it is the Candyman. This is perfect
Okay.
with
Is
Halloween
this the
coming
one
up.
from the movie?
So funny story, a little bit, maybe. So
That's all right. I've apparently spilled my crying game bucket into Candyman, so I've got to pick up. They are not the same movie. Carry on.
all right, so I'm gonna tell you my version of the Candyman. You've all heard it. I couldn't find like a for real, like somebody sat down and wrote a story for this, but my version of the Candyman goes something along these lines, and I did take some artistic license. So, a group of kids goes trick-or-treating alone for the first time. One suggests they go to a house set back in the woods. The others agree, not wanting to seem scared, right? It's Halloween. You got to do the thing. They go get the candy and everything seems fine until little Luke or little, Lukeette, whatever.
Jamie or whatever.
Yeah, I don't care.
The smallest.
Whatever kid decides that they're going to have a piece of candy before they get home. He suddenly becomes very ill.
So yeah, make him somebody's little brother. Sorry.
The friends rush him home and the parents take him to the hospital, but it's too late. He's poisoned and dies.
Gotta have small body mass.
So this is the story, right? That's been out and about forever. And there was a term that was actually coined for this back in the 1970s, and it's called Halloween sadism. And it's a belief that there are crazy people out there who are trying to harm specifically children
When is this?
by passing out contaminated candy or treats with razor blades in apples, or candy bars with poison or treats or pins or whatever, bad baked goods, that sort of thing. None of this is true. There have been no confirmed reports of any child ever eating or consuming candy or baked goods or treats that were given out on Halloween to random people and being poisoned. It's just Never happened.
Okay.
The National Confectioners Association actually started a hotline for Halloween candy in 1982 for police and poison control centers to report contaminated candy in the U.S. This hotline was shut down in 2012 because, and I quote, they said, tampering is extremely rare and we don't even track it anymore because police just aren't seeing it. And then they were asked for an update on it a couple of years ago, and they said again, we don't do any research on this, but we anecdotally agree that these are typically isolated, rare, false reports and or hoaxes.
Okay.
And that's directly from the Confectioners Association. So what actually triggered this fear of things in the candy? I'm not sure if you heard about this. I'm sure you did. But starting in September 1982, the Chicago Tylenol murders.
Yes.
Okay. So it started in September and it ended in October of 1982. 7 people died of cyanide being put in these pills, in these Tylenol things.
That's why the tamper-proof tops.
Exactly, and that's what it led to. But it also led to hundreds of copycats before they were able to say no and start doing these laws.
See, that's how you know the 80s are harder than now, because it wasn't open up your ice cream and lick it.
Yeah.
It was open up your stuff and kill you with it.
You're right.
Joker level crazy.
But
As
yeah,
I recall, those were also the gelatin capsules,
Probably.
so they could take them apart and restuff them.
Right, and that's exactly what
yeah.
what was happening. Cyanide was one of the things that was found. There was another.
Yeah, they took them all off the shelves.
Strychnine.
Strychnine.
Strychnine. Okay, thank you.
Rat poison.
Yes. So that was also added to Tylenol products in October in California. But that's when they invented the tamper-resistant packaging and bunches of laws that say if you mess with people's food, pills, or whatever, you go to jail forever. It's just done. Now, I decided to try to look up some actual events, right, where maybe kids were poisoned with candy. Now, I found some anecdotal things that kind of stood out, and I found them in a couple different places. One of them was a New Jersey school, apparently, a couple days before Halloween. They had a party, and PCP was supposedly put in Tootsie Rolls that was handed out to children at some elementary school, supposedly. And on the same exact day, some 28-year-old ate, I've heard a couple differing reports, either a chocolate bar or a Cadbury Caramello, something like that, with a straight pin that cut his cheek. And this kid's name was supposedly Frank Comeleni. So I did some research and I could not find any newspaper reports of this, no whatever. This was all anecdotal, random pages that were like, oh, this is where this came from. So again, none of this led anywhere. It was all just a bunch of dead ends. So then I stumbled across some really interesting information where in 1964, so this is like a real thing that happened, a lady in New York named Helen Pheil, P-H-E-I-L, I'm not sure, was arrested after giving out ant poison, steel wool, and dog biscuits to kids she felt were too old. She said she was just joking, and no children were harmed. Right.
It's just Karen being Karen.
Yeah, she was just being a dick. But she didn't actually hurt anybody and whatever. So this is like the only real stranger giving out candy that had any sort of...
She did give children rat poison, which is a horrible idea, but...
Ant poison, but...
Excuse me, and yeah, you still
Is
don't
ant poison recognizable as ant poison?
They supposedly looked like little buttons, I guess, the
Oh,
paper
no, I was
buttons.
picturing she just gave him like a jug, like, I've got for the ant murder, and like, I thought she was just being dickish as opposed to, here's some nerds, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, the kids were like, crap, and whatever.
Well,
the steel wool
and dog biscuits is pretty obvious.
Well, and again, you're not going to kill anybody by giving them dog biscuits. Like,
Okay.
I mean, there's plenty of
So I have a story to tell at the end. Go
okay.
ahead.
So the only other really well-reported and whatever account of a kid being poisoned by candy was in 1974, and this is the real story, right? This is what really happened.
Okay.
A Texan named Ronald O'Brien gave his and his friends' children cyanide poisoned giant pixie sticks. And he encouraged his son to eat one that night. Luckily, the other children did not. So, yeah, this guy took out...
The stuffing of a pixie stick.
Well, he just added the cyanide to it, kind of shook it up a little bit, whatever. Gave it to his kid.
Yeah.
Then rushes his kid to the hospital. Oh my God, so sad. And then cries, says this heartfelt eulogy. Everybody feels bad for this guy. And then the police find out that he took out huge life insurance policies on both his son and his daughter.
Cool.
But not him and his wife.
Yeah.
Just the two children.
Uh-huh.
So he went to jail forever.
Money on the hoof.
And happily, and I say happily because this man is a piece of shit, he was killed by lethal injection in 1984. And he's also known as the man that killed Halloween because this is what truly sparked the candy fear, right?
I can believe.
The poison
Yeah.
candy fear. The funny part is that this wasn't a stranger handing out Halloween candy. This
Right.
was your dad
This was-
saying, here's a pixie stick, buddy.
What were we saying
Enjoy.
about?
80% of murders
Happen
murder
in the
victims
home.
know their murderer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and the worst part is not only did he give it to his kids, he gave it to his friends'
Well, you got
children.
spread around the doubt.
Yeah.
Two of his friends' children also received,
Poison sticks.
these poison sticks, and oh my God, that's just horrific. In jail, he was known as the Candyman, and that's where
That's
this all
where the
came
name
from.
comes
This
from.
is where it all started.
All right.
So some
the
people.
Candyman can.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
So some people feel like when this all came out, right, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, there's poison
Yeah.
candy," and blah blah blah, and making a big fuss. That candy companies might have used this legend to push the concept of their pre-wrapped treats,
Individual. Yeah.
so that you're not getting apples anymore, you're not getting homemade
Right.
Rice Krispie treats or
Yeah.
whatever brownies. They couldn't give that out anymore. You have to give out their candy, right?
Mhm.
And
I don't
yeah.
think those little tiny bars existed for that.
Fun size?
The fun
Yeah.
size, yeah, no, I don't think so.
The Halloween size.
So this guy, okay, his name is Joel Best, and he's a University of Delaware psychology and criminal justice professor. And he's been researching and reporting on Halloween candy tampering. He started looking back to 1958. Okay, so that's when he started, and he kind of finished around 1984. So he did significant amounts of research on this. And then when he wrote a book a few years later, in 1989, he went back and updated all the information. So the information is current up to 1989.
Okay.
And this book is called Threatened Children, and he put it out in 1990. And he says, and I quote, "I couldn't find a single report of a child killed or seriously injured from a contaminated treat that they received during trick or treating. This is all contemporary legend, and that's all it is."
All right.
And end of discussion.
Does
So,
that mean I can eat my candy apple?
oh yeah, do your thing.
Crap.
So
Wonder where it is.
So this whole hysteria led to the film The Candyman from 1992, and guess what this man has on his hand?
Bomb, bomb, bomb. I know the answer. I'm no fun.
A
Yeah.
hook.
The variation on the.
They got it from the Hook for a Hand guy,
Oh my
and they
God.
Bloody Mary.
snatched it on. Yep, Bloody Mary, a couple other
You have to
things.
say. No, I'm just saying. The
Yeah.
Candyman thing, I'm pretty sure.
It is from,
Yeah.
yeah.
You have to say Candyman in the mirror X or reflective surface X number of times,
Mhm.
and then you all
He
die.
appears. Okay.
Like, I don't. And
This is like a Halloween dare.
yeah.
Right.
It's getting more convoluted, but so did the Leprechaun.
So we've got summoning the
I watched a
devil.
lot of horror.
We've got summoning the devil,
Mm-hmm.
the Candyman, and the hook,
Mm-hmm.
all
So-
rolled into one big story.
Yeah.
I see
pretty
that
much.
there's this confluence because this starts at, like, really hits its heyday in the 70s.
Yeah, so this was when
So
it
it's
became
just
really
after the
prevalent.
Satanist panic. The cults are everywhere. And again, the Manson kids, I think, are still echoing in the background, or maybe they haven't happened yet. They're late 60s, right?
But so here's
Anyway,
the
yes.
funny part. The modern day telling of this tale, okay, and you know about this, is that people are going to be giving out, chocolates and treats laced with marijuana.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that.
Oh my
And
God.
various other
Okay.
drugs.
So I'm gonna Eric Altieri, who directs the Normal, which is NORML. It's an advocacy group for lobbying for marijuana law reform, and this is what he says, and I'm gonna quote him. Children receiving marijuana-laced Halloween candies is one of those urban myths that just seems to never really die, but the fact of the matter is you're more likely to summon Beetlejuice on Halloween by saying his name several times than finding marijuana edibles in your kid's Halloween bag from trick or treating. It's just not happening. Do you even know how expensive edibles are? It's like $20 a bar of chocolate.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Give out the little pieces? No, you're gonna have to gin up some little wrappings so individual hurt. No, I'm not arts and craftsing a thing for a fucking prank.
Well,
I'm not
and
gonna see
again,
go down.
that's the main thing, right? This
If I'm
prank,
gonna
you're
see a
gonna
bunch of
give,
little stoned kids bumping into stuff, I'm not going.
and
no,
it takes
wait.
forever to kick in, right?
Yeah.
You don't know. You can't follow them around for an hour and hope that you're gonna see them.
You're gonna get turbo caught.
Yeah, no, it's
And you're
just
gonna deserve it
not.
because you're stupid.
It's
Don't
just
do
not a
crimes.
thing. Nobody is poisoning your
crazy.
children's candy. It's
Stoners don't like sharing with other stoners that don't put in. They're certainly not giving kids.
Now, I'm going to tell you what you should really be worried about with your children, or in general, being out on Halloween night, okay? So, a study was done, and they looked up all the numbers from 1975 to 2016. So, this is a big thing. They compared the deaths from 5 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. on Halloween night versus a control date a week before and another control date the week after. So they did this for every year from 1975 to 2016. And what they found is that there was a 43% increase in pedestrian fatalities on Halloween. That's what you should be afraid of. Don't worry
So
about
you're
the
out
candy your
walking
kids
in the
are
street,
eating. Worry
in the
about them
dark.
walking in the street.
Yep.
Stepping on your little ghost sheet,
Yeah.
not showing up, getting squished.
And not
Yeah,
paying
right.
attention to what's happening around you.
And running across the
And-
street to say hi to your friends.
Oh yeah,
While the person who did see you and tried to miss you
yeah.
runs over you.
Kids come out of nowhere.
Right. No, and I didn't get the percentages, but most of these accidents on Halloween night involve drunk drivers. Do not drive while you're drunk, especially on Halloween, folks.
Yeah.
This is just don't do it. You're killing people. There's no
Bad
reason for it to
planning.
stop. Yeah.
Go to the place, get drunk, fall down.
Yep.
You'll be fine.
Yep.
And if you can't do that, you have no business drinking into excess.
A lot of people will, a lot of bars will Uber you home.
Oh,
don't they? Yeah.
No, I'm gonna assume this is the usual age bracket for our fatalities.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah.
What better day to get drunk than Halloween?
No, sure. No.
There is a little
But
bit
like,
to the
stay at your friend's place.
Halloween is great because dress like
That's
Right.
true. Slutty
my
nuns.
favorite parties, Halloween parties.
Oh, for sure.
New England's weird like that.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
telling
we
you
are.
the stories.
Me either,
I am
no.
telling another one though.
Yes,
So,
go for it. Sir.
Speaking of the wrong candy. So when we were in Germany, one of my NCO's wives discovered that there were dog treats that were candy shaped and colored and so forth, and the dogs really liked them. And so she had a crystal bowl with dog treats in it. And so it came up her time to host the company wives meeting. So you've got the, the company commander's wife, the XO's wife, all the lieutenants' wives, all the senior NCO's wives, right? And so they're all there that afternoon. And bigger than anything, she comes out and realizes they're busily eating her dog treats.
Oh no.
And she figures this is probably not a good time to tell them they're dog treats. So they proceeded to polish off all her dog treats.
Oops. All right, so
And a good
don't leave dog treats in crystal bowls.
laugh was had by
Or
all.
do. That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do
that's
your
funny.
thing.
The takeaway
They
from that
weren't.
is
They were not bad.
don't eat things you don't know what are.
Yeah, ask first. I never eat candy without saying in a bowl, like,
Yeah.
oh, can I have some? Like, I'm just not that type of person. I won't just grab it. But
Well, you were fetched up right.
yeah, that's true too. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Weren't we finding strawberry candies around here somewhere?
I ate them all. Well, I ate all the ones I took. I know where they are.
Okay.
I also know that I can't be trusted, so I will eat them. That's why I stay away.
Okay.
Nope, but this is a lot of fun. Did anybody else have any thoughts, opinions, whatever to share on our discussions of the evening?
Yeah, the supplemental spending bill is nonsense. It is 120. Hold on, I even got the number.
Oh,
$6 billion more than Obama's stimulus package that didn't get it done.
Oh god.
So yeah, everything will be fixed. It's awesome. Way to go, team. I'm glad.
Fuck you, Mansion, and fuck you,
Cinema.
fucking Cinema.
Hey, it looks like she's gonna get primary. That's gonna be awesome.
I
I'm gonna
hope,
give that guy
I
so
hope
much money.
she gets primaried right up her.
I don't even have money. Like, I'm gonna give up some stuff to give that guy more money.
Yeah, I don't care who he is. I just want her
He's
out.
a Democrat, state legislature guy, I think.
We'll see.
Yeah, maybe he's House representative.
It's
Oh, nice.
a ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But yes, we will support him. We will not support her.
No.
I am so embarrassed. We knocked on doors for
Made
her.
phone calls.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Got Gino to make phone calls. Like, no, I
Phone calls. What percentage of them were you getting answered?
paid. None, basically.
Yep. Right.
And again, I don't answer phone numbers. I don't know.
Right. So, we have to, speaking of not answering phone numbers you don't know,
Yeah, don't answer phone numbers you don't know.
how about the lady who was lost in the mountains
Yeah.
Oh, God.
and didn't answer search and rescue when they called her repeatedly from an unknown number?
Yeah. No, again.
If you're lost, another rule. If you're lost in the mountains, answer
your
your
phone,
damn
no matter what. Yeah.
phone.
I don't think that human was.
Well, and like, why do you have a phone if?
I feel like
yeah.
that human failed to early checkout, and why can't they just track that one? Because they can track it to a cell tower.
Well,
That's
why
pretty
didn't like her
close.
friends or family call her?
Again.
It's so strange. Like, it doesn't make none of that makes.
Actually,
sense.
that's an interesting suggestion. Is search and rescue.
Should have been able to figure out.
They should have been able to have her family.
You've got a
call.
number for the human. You can dump the contact numbers.
Yes.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
No, just strange. But yep, no,
That's why I'm like, that seems odd.
yeah, no, that was very strange. But I guess we'll find out more or not.
That human was pulling a Landry or whatever his name is.
Oh, God.
No, whatever. I hope a gator fucked his eye hole. Look, I'm not knocking on his parents' door being bad about it. If you're his parents, don't watch this episode.
Yeah, just rewarding too late in the show.
When you
Never
get
mind.
time travel,
We're just gonna
go back and warn yourself.
Yeah, go back and maybe we'll. No, we're not gonna bother putting a warning because
Not even a little.
don't care.
I'm gonna say way dumber things.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Nope. So again, I feel like we had a really fun night. Another really lively discussion.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to the Candyman. This is especially with Halloween coming
Yep.
up. This was the one I was
All
really
right.
excited about. So this is good. We'll have another for you. Are we gonna take tomorrow off? And
Why would we take tomorrow?
okay, cool. No, I was just asking.
Is there something special about it?
No, there's nothing special about tomorrow. So we will see you back here tomorrow then on Boomer Rex Tonight. Everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.